Hello students, today we are going to start the next unit, that is third unit of macroeconomics, in which we will study about the aggregate demand, aggregate supply, the determinants of income and employment. There are three chapters in this unit and first chapter is aggregate demand and related concepts. First, let us discuss the meaning of aggregate demand. Aggregate demand, that is AD. It refers to the total value of final goods and services which all the sectors of an economy are planning. Please focus on the words. This is not the actual value of the goods and services which will be expended, on which the expenditure will be made, but these are the planned one. So the total value of final goods and services which all the sectors of an economy are planning to buy at a given level of income during a period of one accounting year is called as aggregate demand. So there are various components of aggregate demand as per the definition. This definition says that whatever income is available, we are talking about income and total value of final goods and services which all the sectors of the economy are planning to buy. It means there is concern of expenditure also. So let us look at the components of aggregate demand. First component is private consumption expenditure. Private consumption expenditure means the expenditure which is done by the household sector on various goods and services on which they are expending and they are buying. But again I'll mention this is the planned expenditure which they will do. Second is investment expenditure. Investment expenditure is related to the firms because investment is done by the firms. Firms means those sectors which are not the household. So the investment or expenditure which is made on capital goods will be included under the second head, that is investment expenditure I. Third is the government expenditure. Government expenditure may be consumption expenditure as well as the capital good expenditure or investment expenditure which is made by government. Now government is making consumption expenditure in those services issues which are legally bound, like the salary to be paid to the government employees, whether it is police department, it is administration department, it is the government hospitals are there, so staff is working under government hospitals, staff is working in government schools. So as per laws, it is mandatory to do such kind of expenditure for the government. So it is called as consumption expenditure of government. Second expenditure, that is investment expenditure made by government, is the construction of roads, bridges, or the assets which are created in the economy for welfare of the people. So it will include both kind of expenditure, consumption as well as investment, but will be made by the government. Third is net exports. Net exports means export minus import. Export is represented by X and import by M. This is the payment or the receipt which is made outside the country or which is received inside the country from abroad for the value of goods and services purchased or sold. So these are the four components, if you remember, the components of expenditure method, because this is the total expenditure. But for sake of simplicity as well as the coverage of class 12 portion is for two sectors only, which is household sector and firm sector, we will consider that AD is equal to C plus I, that is in two sector model. AD will be considered as C plus I. Now let us see the diagrammatic presentation of aggregate demand. We know aggregate demand is constructed in two-sector model by addition of consumption and investment. Consumption is from the household sector and investment is from the firm sector. So let us understand this. Before this, we should also understand that the income in the economy is 100% the factor on which aggregate demand is depending. The reason behind this is the expenditure is made according to the disposable income. It means that whatever will be spent by the private sector, that is the household sector, it will be spent according to the disposable income of the people. So we have to keep this in mind, and accordingly we will develop a relationship between the income and the consumption and investment. So let us take the levels of income here. We are starting the first level at 0. It means that when income will be 0, still see the table, consumption is 40. It means that if a person is not a earning person, if in any circumstances he is not earning at all, then also he is required to consume, because without consumption he will not be able to survive. So at 0 level of income, consumption is present. Investment is taken as autonomous. Autonomous means fixed and which cannot be changed with the levels of income. Because investment is done by the firm sector, it has no concern with the level of income in short run. So we are considering that investment is constant for all the levels of income. It is not affected by the level of income of the people. So this is the income which is increasing. See 0, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. We are increasing the income, the level of income. The investment is kept constant. But when this is a very general kind of phenomena, when income increases, the expenditure made by the people, that tendency of the human being also increases of making the expenditure. So with increase in income, the consumption also increases at the same proportion, and aggregate demand is equal to C plus I, that is consumption plus investment. So consumption plus investment is total aggregate demand. So here you can see with increase in income, as income was 0, consumption was 40. When income becomes 100, consumption is increasing to 120. When income is increasing to 200, it is again increasing to 200. It means that we are keeping a same proportion, because a part of income is always saved. We are considering this, that when a person becomes self-sufficient, that is at 200 level of income, the person is becoming self-sufficient. Whatever is his income, he is consuming whole of its income. Further, the income is more and consumption is less, because now the person, as he is self-sufficient, he is trying to save something. So with this, we can arrive at the diagram. See, the important point in the diagram is, as investment is kept autonomous, that is constant for all the levels of income, investment is parallel to x-axis. This gap is neither increasing nor decreasing. The reason behind this is investment is kept constant. Then one more important point is, consumption has always two parts. First part of the consumption is the autonomous consumption. Autonomous consumption means that part of consumption which a person, which an individual will definitely do whether he is earning or not. It means that here we are keeping this 40 as autonomous consumption, because even at zero level of income, a person is required to consume. So whether he will be a earning member or not, he will definitely consume 40 value of consumption. So this is that consumption which is constant. This is that investment which is constant. So when both of these are combined, they are called as autonomous consumption, which I have denoted with big C, and this mark we always give to represent the consumption as autonomous. See, the same mark has been given on I also as it was autonomous, on C also as this is also autonomous. Now, the second part of the consumption is the consumption which is increasing with increase in level of income. As I said, it is proportionate to the income. As income is increasing, this is also increasing. So, it has a positive slope. When we add this area to this investment, or we can say it should be the big consumption like this. This is total C plus I. C is that part which is added, and this is the I part which is again added, and it is forming AD. So as this part I have included it here as C to explain you that this is included, but here we have already taken this area, so this area is only included here and this becomes I. So C plus I is equal to aggregate demand. Now there are some important points we should understand in this. First is AD is equal to C plus I, because we are considering only two sector economy, that is household and firm. Second is at zero level of income, C is positive. The reason behind this is C cannot be negative or zero, because it is essential for all the human beings to consume, whether they are able to earn something or not. If they are not earning, that is they are having zero level of income, then also consumption is present. Now how they are consuming it, whether they are taking loans or they are utilizing previous savings, that's a different matter not to be discussed here. Third point is consumption curve slopes upward. The reason behind this is with increase in income, consumption also increases. We are talking about this area because it is dependent on income. When income increases, consumption also increases. Next is autonomous investment curve is straight line parallel to x-axis. The reason behind this is it is constant at all the levels of income. This is the reason. In this consumption part, this is added the investment part, and AD is equal to C plus I we are representing here. Next is AD curve starts from above the origin. You see the AD curve is starting from above the origin, not from the origin. The reason behind this is at zero level of income also the consumption is present and investment in the economy has been made, whether the public is earning or not. AD curve has positive slope because with increase in income, expenditure also increases, which is denoted by the consumption part. So I hope now the diagrammatic presentation of AD, which is very important from examination point of view, is clear to you. Now let us come to aggregate supply. What is aggregate supply? AS. AS has direct concern with the national income. National income means the income which is earned in the economy by the sectors, which is the household sector as well as the firm sector. When we unite the income of both of these sectors, we arrive at aggregate supply. So now why the concern of national income is coming? Let us first see the definition. AS is money value of final goods and services that all the producers, because it's a matter of supply, that all the producers are willing to supply in an economy in a given time period. Now whatever they are supplying, it has a value. That value, that total value, money value of final goods and services has direct concern with national income, because whatever money value is generated here is distributed as factors of production, that is in land, labor, capital and entrepreneur. So as whatever is generated through the production and the goods which are sold, that is the supply, that money value of all final goods and services are distributed to the factors of production. So aggregate supply is equal to national income. Moreover, we can say when national income, when a person is earning, definitely there can be two parts of that income. Either he will save or he will consume. This is the reason these are the two components of aggregate supply. First is consumption and second is saving, because we are considering here AS is equal to national income, and national income and AS means AS is further equal to C plus S, because there is no other third component. A person can either consume or whatever he has not consumed, he will save. And when we will aggregate all this for all the sectors of the economy, it will come to aggregate supply. So now let us see the table and the diagrammatic presentation of AS. It has direct concern with AD. So I have tried to carry forward this table over here for sake of simplicity. The income levels are taken similar. See, here also we have taken income level from 0 to 500. Here also it is 0 to 500. Consumption is also taken same, so that we can arrive at saving. Now how both are concerned? What I said is consumption and saving, these are the two components of national income. So whatever a person is consuming, the leftover he will save. This is the reason I said AS is equal to C plus S. So if consumption is 40 at zero level of income, it means it is considered that the person who is consuming at zero level of income must be utilizing his previous saving. So saving is coming to minus 40. So here aggregate supply will be 0. It means at zero level of income, aggregate supply is 0. This is the reason aggregate supply curve is starting from the origin. Second is when a person is earning 100, when not one person, when the aggregate income, that is national income, is 100, consumption is 120, it means that still self-sufficiency is not there and person is still utilizing his previous savings. The reason behind this is this 100 is less and consumption is more, that is consumption is more than that of income, so saving is minus 20. On third level of income, see, consumption is equal, so saving is 0 and AS is equal to 200. Same way, as consumption is increasing, the tendency to save is also increasing, and as both are increasing in same proportion, saving also increases. Now, the thing to be focused here is income and aggregate supply both are equal. This we have considered, that aggregate supply is equal to national income. This is the reason that both the sides, that is x-axis and y-axis, on one axis we are taking income, here also we have taken income on x-axis, because we are required to create the concern or relativity of income with that of aggregate supply, and here income with that of aggregate demand. So at all the levels, as both are bisecting at same point, the income line or the curve will be 45-degree straight line. This has been explained here. So with this, I hope the concept of aggregate demand and aggregate supply is very clear. Thank you.